evening, everybody. Tori with Super Firearms Training here with you tonight. Tonight, I wanted to talk to my truck driver friends and have a little discussion with you all. I've been seeing a lot of discussions lately about the legalities of carrying in a truck and and all the stuff that goes with that. And me, as far as tonight goes, I'm not going to get into the legalities. I do have some things I want to say, and I will say them here in a minute. But for me, the thing I want to make sure that we as drivers out here on the road know how to train with our firearms while we're on the road. I got to comb my beard. We don't have the opportunity to stop and take a class while we're on the road or hit the range all the time. It's hard for us to train. And I've been kind of training in my truck. So what I want to do over these next few videos is kind of show you guys what I do to train in the truck. Because you got to remember, every round we fire that leaves our muzzles is our responsibility. So if you're running through, the Petro parking lot there one night and their lights are out or it's really dark, and I've been to a couple that you can't see nothing. Heaven forbid you've got to protect yourself. You don't want to accidentally be shooting the guy that's fueling his truck or the guy that's asleep in his bunk. You don't want to accidentally shoot them. So training is imperative. We have got to be proficient with our firearms. So that's kind of what I want to go through. I'm going to show you what I do to train here in the truck. Tonight, what I want to do is I'm going to show you some of the equipment that will make it not only safe, but it will give you some feedback on how your training is going. That's what I want to focus on tonight. I want to let you know the products that I am speaking of tonight, I have no relationship with. Really, they probably don't even know I exist. But I've purchased all these with my own money. I use all these products, and I'm absolutely pleased, and I recommend all of them 100%. But it is just to help us be safe in the truck while we're training, doing our dry firing, because really, dry fire is life. That's where we're going to learn, and that's where our skills are going to get better. And then when you get the time, when you get home, you go to the range and you take what you've done in that dry fire and you go live fire and see where your skills are laying on the live fire. So that's kind of what I want to do tonight. Kind of let you guys know what we're doing here. First I did want to say something. As far as, like I said, I'm not going to get into a whole bunch of legal stuff. If you want to do that, if you really want to kind of learn some of the legality stuff, I implore you, Google some of it. Google the difference between carrying a firearm and transporting a firearm. Google the state laws that you're going into as far as concealed carry. Another thing you can do, if you're on the TikTok, there's a gentleman on the TikTok I follow. He's a pretty cool dude. His name on there is Slow Walker 2. I'm gonna spell that because he's SLOWALKR and then the number 2. Follow him on TikTok. He's got, I don't know how many videos. He's done the research. He's also a carrier. And he's got some where he's actually put screenshots of the laws in certain states. And he has a big discussion about it on his TikTok. And it's quite comical, too, some of the comments that he gets from some of the people saying it's not legal and yada, yada, yada. But anyway, go give him a follow. And if you do that, make sure you let him know how imperative it is that you put mayonnaise on your hamburger and ranch in your spaghetti. You tell him that that's got to happen. Anyway, another thing you can do is my buddy John Correa at Active Self-Protection, his YouTube channel, Active Self-Protection Extra, every Friday he sits down with a lawyer and they discuss the legalities of self-defense scenarios and things like that. Now, they don't talk truck specifically, but it would still be good information to know that, hey, this is what you need to have these are the things that need to be in place in order for you to protect yourself with deadly force. These are the situations you can use to use less lethal or whatever. Great information. Really, go follow. And I'm going to put links to everything in the comments or down in the description. I will put links to everything I got here and everybody I'm mentioning. So let's kind of get into this. As a driver, now these are things that I think everybody should carry, but really I can't imagine a driver not having number one, a good flashlight. This is my Modlite 18650 with an OKW head. And I went outside just a few minutes ago because it's dark out here. And I took a little bit of video showing you guys just how bright this thing is. It has it has 68,000 candela. And I don't remember what the lumens are. But really, candela is kind of what you want. And you'll see in the video, this thing is super, super bright. I can do I do my pre-trips with it in the dark, and it's just like doing it in daylight. I've been broke down on the side of the road, and I've been able to use that flashlight. People see it, they notice it. Now you don't want to flash anybody in their eyes because it will blind them. It is that bright. But I can point it at the ground. Oh, excuse me, I need something to drink. You can point it at the ground and you don't miss it. They will see it, and they probably won't get over anyway, but at least they know you're there. Okay, well, the sun has gone down and it's pretty dark out here, so I thought I would let y'all see what this Modlite 18650 with the OKW head does. I'm out here in the back lot of the truck stop I'm at tonight, as you can see, so we'll flip the, well, let's turn that off. All right, so that's what you can see. I don't have the light on, so that's pretty much kind of what the camera is seeing. So if we go this way, this is the Modlite 18650 with an OKW head. And that is how much more I can see with this light. And you can see as I kind of come around, I mean, it comes back at me real good there. So I can see very well that garbage can and the other garbage can down there. So yeah, so if you want a really good flashlight, again, they are a little expensive, but if you want a good flashlight to kind of help you, let people see you while you're standing on the side of the road or whatnot, really, I don't think this one can be beat. So there's the example of the Modlite 18650 with the OKW head. And the best place to get that, I need to trim my beard. The best place to get that is Big Tex Ordnance. That's bigtexordnance.com. That's a big, they got flashlights and scopes. It's a big sporting goods store. I don't know them personally, but I have friends that do, and I've ordered from them. I get things pretty quick. They're a great bunch of people. Their prices are fair. That is one thing about the Modlite. It is expensive. The Modlite with the OKW, the Modlite 18650 with the OKW head is about $350. So it's pricey, but you're gonna get something that you're not gonna get from a flashlight at Walmart or the truck stop. I do have some of those lights here in the truck just for kind of in the truck searching, but so anyway, yeah, Big Tex Ordnance they got all kinds of stuff. That's a good place to get the flashlight. The next thing that you're going to want, and this is for safety, or the next thing you want is, drivers, go get you a little bit of pepper spray. I don't care how big, bad, and tough you think you are. A physical fight is going to cause you troubles. Whether you get hit or you have to hit somebody, it's going to cause you some issues. So you get online to palm.com. Is it palm.com? I'm going to look up there. I'll leave a link. This is a palm OC spray. This is the strongest that you can get on the market. These are a great product, and you can see, I don't know if you can see how well, but it fits right in my pocket. It's got a little clip there, fits right in my pocket. And if somebody on the fuel island decides they want to get nasty with me, you know, I can just pull this out and dose them a little bit in the eyeballs, and they'll lay down on the ground and cry. Even if they are the one guy that thinks they're big and bad and got the tattoos and all that stuff, you know what I mean? And I'm not picking on anybody. I'm just trying to be silly. But yeah, I cannot recommend this enough. Again, because a gun is not always the answer. And I know drivers out here get hot-headed and everything like that. And you got how many people coming up to you, banging on your door, hey, baby, or do you have $1 or something? And if it gets nasty, just give them a little bit of this. It'll stop. So I think every driver, male, female, I don't care, should have a palm pepper spray in their pocket. Okay, the next thing, let's get that back in. The next thing you need, and we'll get it, now we're going to kind of get into some safety stuff. The next thing you need is a barrel block. This little piece of orange plastic here, and I'm going to show you how it works. I wish the camera was a little closer, but you know how it is in the trucks. We're limited on room. So what this does is this goes in your barrel, and it pokes out the end of your barrel, probably this far or so, and this part's sitting in your chamber. So now you have essentially taken your firearm and you've turned it into a training tool, because you can't put you can't put nothing in it. And the other thing they come with is got an empty magazine here. But see this little orange deal here? That's just something I can put in my magazine. It's called a magazine block. I throw it in there, and that way when I'm racking my slide, it doesn't lock to the rear when I'm doing my dry fire stuff. So let's show you how this works. So here I am. So this is my everyday carry, a Walther PDP, and you can see that there's nothing in here. And I'm going to turn this into a training tool. So put that there, hammer down. This is now a training tool. This is essentially a useless gun. All I can do is throw it at somebody. Again, I take my magazine with my magazine block in there, and it won't. I can sit here and rack the slide, and it won't lock back, which is very handy when you're trying to do dry fire type stuff. And we'll put this down. Dry fire stuff. When you're trying to do like some trigger manipulations, you got to rack that slide a little bit, and that way it won't kind of jam open on you. And again, the place you get those, concealedcarry.com. That's a buddy of mine, Riley Bowman, that's one of his companies. And again, he's a friend. I bought this from him before I really met him, but after I met him, he's become a friend. I paid for this. I have no relationship with him, so all my reviews are, even if I did, my reviews are 100% honest. You can't buy my opinion. So if I tell you my opinion is it's good, it's good. If it's bad, I'll tell you it's bad. Or concealedcarry.com. The other thing you're going to want to have is just an old phone. I'm sure you've got an old phone that is just lying around. It doesn't work. That's a good thing to have. And when I get into showing you some drills, I'll show you what this phone is for. Another good thing to have is a timer. There are not a lot of timers that will pick up dry fire. This is the AMG Commander, and you can go to amg-lab.com to pick these up. These are a little bit expensive as well. These are about $150-160. And when we get to doing some actual training, I will show you how I get this to pick up the dry fire. Another thing you can do for a timer is there are a lot of apps on the phones. The Play Store or the Apple, I don't know what the Apple one is. I don't use Apple, but you can get timers on those. They don't pick up the dry fire, but you can set a par time, and so you can use that instead of an actual timer. And like I said, when we get into training and I start showing you what I do back here, we'll get into all that a little bit deeper. But again, this is amg-lab.com. Another thing you're going to need, that, well, you're not going to need, but it's a really good idea. Let's open this up. This is called a Mantis X. It's just a little, I don't know if you can see it. This is just a little tool, little thing that goes on my gun. Let's see if I can show you. Oh, it's right here. I have an adapter that I got on the bottom of my base plate here. So I slide that on there just like that. And now, and this is Bluetooth to my phone. And so what I do is, this has a timer. It's got some exercises that you can do to run it. And this records muzzle movement and all kinds of really cool things. Gives you some great information. And again, I will go more into detail when I start doing the training. Mantis.com, or is it MantisX.com? MantisX.com. I don't know what these are costing these days. I didn't think to look that up, but these are great because, look, we've only got a few feet in here. We can't do a bunch of movements. We can't do a bunch of walking around. This just goes on the gun and gives you a lot of really good information. Like I said, when I get to doing some training, I will explain this all in more detail. Empty magazine. Make sure you got an empty magazine. I got a little bag here. I put all my dry fire stuff in my little bag here. I take it home with me when I go home. You do the little drills in the Mantis, and they send you these really cool patches. These are rubber patches. So you get all these when you complete certain criteria in the app, and that's pretty cool. You get a bunch of them. But I just bought a bag, and I just did that. And that way, I got all my stuff in the same spot. Again, drivers, I did want to kind of get into a little bit of legal at this time. It's not something I'm going to get into a lot. Like I said, go talk to, or go watch Slow Walker, or get onto Active Self-Protection Extra there. But I feel like I need to say, and what I tell my students when they ask me questions is, there are absolutely no federal laws restricting firearms in a commercial vehicle. No federal. What you have to know is what state you're in, what their laws are. Do you have a concealed weapons permit that has reciprocity with that state? What's happening is these large companies, Warner, Crete, Schneider, or all they're trying to, I don't want to say this too bad, but their company policies are no firearms, but they're trying to scare their drivers into thinking that it's a federal deal, and it's not. It is just simply their company policy. So what I tell my students is, do your research on the state you're going to be in. There's nothing that says you can't have it. Know your company policy. Know what the repercussions for your company are going to be. Are they going to write you up? Are they going to fire you? You have to know that stuff so that you can make an educated decision. And then you've got to sit down with yourself and make your decision. What is the risk? What is the reward? How do you feel about it? What do you want to do? And then make your decision and leave it at that. Nobody needs to know whether you're carrying a firearm or not. That's none of their business. But again, that's something that you have to decide for yourself. So I implore you, do your research. Look at the state laws. Look at your company policy. Ask questions. I'm here. If you've got a question, leave it in the comments. If I don't know the answer, I will find the answer and I will get it to you on video. So really, that's kind of really all I wanted to say to drivers. Please get your training in And we'll get into some videos, and I'm gonna show you what I do to make sure that I know for a fact when I pull that trigger, the person that's gonna get it is the one I needed to get it, not the guy in the sleeper in the truck 2 rows down, or the guy that's fueling his truck, you know. So please get your training, and let's be happy and be good to one another, so that, hey, you know what? If we're good to one another, we don't need them. They stay in our pants. So, all right. Anyway, hey, I appreciate you sticking around. Please like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you want to know anything, or if there is something specific that you want to know, you'd like me to cover, let me know. I will get that done. But again, as drivers, you know how it is. Some days you just don't have the time to sit down in front of a camera and do some recording. Tonight I do. I got a little bit of an easy run this week, so I got a little time on my hands. So anyway, have a great night. Please drive safe. If it's snowing, pull over. And we'll talk to you later. Good night.